Hey guys, welcome to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time, we got Locke back after exploring the Phoenix Cave. Was a little bittersweet for Locke, but he finally managed to put the past behind him. This time, we are returning to Narshe, because there are a few things that only Locke can do. And we don't have to actually fight these guys, but I might as well try and show off a few things here. You can jump, you can do blitzes. I guess that doesn't work on them. Now, Locke's weapon that he came with, the Valiant Knife, it's one of the treasures that he found in the Phoenix Cave. It has a unique damage calculation. That damage calculation is determined by... It's basically the anti-Ultima weapon. The lower his HP, the more damage he deals. I'm not sure, it's not really like the chicken knife in Final Fantasy V, but it's basically the equivalent of, except in this case, it's not determined by running away, it's more so determined by the amount of, or like how much HP he has. And I should have brought Mog. Then I wouldn't have had to deal with any of these battles. So yeah, you get a wink from Locke, and he can unlock any of the locked doors here in Narshe. There's only two of which are of any importance. This is one of them. I've been waiting for you. Wanted to give you this. Magicite. Ran a weapon shop for 70 years. Stone gives off an eerie aura. If I smelted it and forged a sword, it'd be powerful. Make it into a sword or leave it as the stone, the Magicite Ragnarok. Now, there's a number of aspects to this decision here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a save state, and let's see what we get for the stone itself. They don't really announce it, they just go, oh, pick one, and then that's it. Now, Ragnarok turns enemies into items. This is basically the morph command from Final Fantasy VII, and I don't think it's particularly well known. I'm not sure why they gave it to Ragnarok, of all things, but they also gave it the most powerful spell in the game, Ultima. Ultima's broken levels of good. Everyone already has, well, not everyone, but a lot of our characters already have broken levels of good abilities, and if I got this, it would just be a grind fest to learn Ultima, and then everyone would just cast Ultima, and I'd get a bunch of economizers and do that instead. So to keep combat more interesting and more varied, more different takes on different abilities and stuff like that, I am not going to go after it. I do note that Ragnarok is one of the random espers you can get from using Setzer's slots, and you can even get it in the World of Balance, giving you the ability to morph enemies into items much earlier in the game than you would normally have the ability to do. I have not played around a lot with Ragnarok. It just seems tedious. Everyone learning Ultima seems tedious. It's too time-consuming for me. So instead, we're going to turn into a sword. Now, the sword arguably isn't as good, but that doesn't mean it's not good. It's broken levels of good. The thing is, that's not its ultimate form yet. We are going to take a quick look at that in a little bit, but first let's grab the one other thing we can grab here in Narshe now that we have Locke to unlock doors for us. And I think I'm going slightly the wrong way. I think, yeah, this is the one I want to go into. It's the one above the weapon shop where we just were. I think I already got that if it was something. Here we have someone telling us to take this. A cursed shield. If we could break its curse, imagine its defensive power. In the original, this is more like the blood-stained shield, or the bloody shield. They changed it for obvious censorship reasons, and it became the cursed shield. The cursed shield has But for stats, do I have anyone? Okay, you have it. I can't use warp in a building. Well, that's a thing. Let's get out of here. We don't need to be in here anymore. Let's warp on out. There we go. Okay, let's take a quick look at those items that we just picked up here. Ragnarok randomly casts the Flare spell. Can be used by kind of the first 4 main characters. And gives a lot of nice stats and 32 magic block, which is fantastic. On top of it having max stats. It also uses MP to deal additional damage, so it uses MP to critical, like I think it was the Rune Blade or something like that earlier in the game. It's really, really freaking nice. Like I said though, it's not its final form. However, before we go and unlock its final form, there's one place I want to take a pit stop at. Now, this is totally unnecessary, and it's just to make Gaw a little more useful now as opposed to later. And where the bloody hell is the town? Find the town. Everything looks the same. Alright, so we're gonna make another trip into Jador. Now, the first one, other than shopping earlier on, was mainly for storyline purposes. This one is, well, it's a side trip. You probably want to save before doing this. Still life of flowers. They almost look alive. Hey, wait a minute, they are alive! Nightshade. Nightshade are really, really interesting. And we're going to be stealing from them for a long time. Because, well, these guys suck. I have both Go-Go and Hit Your Friends Till They Drop. What did you just do? Gaw, what are you doing? Now, what has happened here? I am going to... I can't target myself. Okay, I can't jump on myself? That's unfortunate. Yeah, you want to save before this fight. Nightshade enemies can use a really interesting ability called Charm. It's basically the Muddle spell, but because it's a unique special ability, it's unblockable. And it works on every enemy in the entire game, bosses included. Meaning, when we fight these guys and then go to... When we fight these guys and then we head back to... Would you just steal already? And then head back to the Veldt and try and go to the Veldt and find them again. Well, we can find them again and learn that rage for Gaw. Doing so basically breaks the rest of the game if you want to do it. I am going to do it primarily just to show it off. And since I'm having absolutely no luck in stealing, I'm going to reload and try again and cut around until eventually I show you what you can steal from them and steal from all 3 of these guys because that's really, really valuable. Ow! Go-Go? A Nutkin suit! I'm gonna steal 3 more of these things and probably have to reload because I'm kind of destroyed at the moment. And I will see you in a moment. Okay, we just got the last of the suits there from these guys. We got all the Nutkin suits. These guys are weak to fire. They don't have a lot of HP. They absorb water. Their claim to fame is charm and the fact that they're immune to pretty much every status effect in the book. And we got all 4 hits. Come on, Pearl. Aw. It's always nice to get everything together. Anyway, we got two things out of that fight. We got those Nutkin suits that I'm going to need before too long. Did we have any of those before? We did not. It's a squirrel costume. I'm not sure why it's called a Nutkin other than the fact that there's a nut in the name. Can be used by Strago and Realm, and is alright, but nowhere near what we're going to turn them into when we go back to the Coliseum. But I figured I'd head over to the Veldt real quick in the meantime, since I just wanted to see if I was anywhere close, and well, I was like 2 battle formations away from running into these guys, who are the only ones that are battle formation right now, so I'm going to grab that, get God back, and then I'll meet you at the Coliseum. And here we are indeed at that Coliseum. Now, there's 2 things we can do here. We'll try and do one of the other ones too, but the important one, wherever the bloody hell it disappeared to, is betting that Ragnarok, that absolutely fantastic sword. We can also bet those Nutkin suits. I gotta double check here if we can actually fight the enemy with what we currently have. Anyway, the characters that you decide to bring in here for the words are difficult, for betting the Ragnarok, well, I would recommend bringing a Dragoon. Didalos. Yes, that's how you spell it. I've tried to type it into the search function multiple times with a failure. I don't know why they called it Didalos instead of just frickin' Diablos or something like that, but yeah. He's got instant death, which we don't want to be hit by. He is weak to Fire and Pearl. He has 12,280 HP. He is susceptible to instant death, so you can go that way as well. He can use Flare, Flare Star, and Blaster. Flare Star is Fire Elemental. This will heal us. As long as we can get ourselves back in the air, or we could do that. He usually dies if you hit him 3 times. Anyway, for defeating him, we get the Illumina. So, what could possibly be better than what we had before? What could be better than all those stats? More stats and more evade! Yay! This one, instead of casting Flare when you attack, it also MP criticals, but instead of casting Flare, it casts Pearl, so it's elemental based where Flare is non-elemental. But for the extra magic block, it just makes it kinda ridiculous. To talk about that, let's go over this right now. The Minerva gives me a little bit of magic block. The Mystery Veil gives me a little bit more. The Force Shield gives me a shit ton. And, well, we just capped it out. The maximum magic block in this game is 128. I don't know why it's 128 instead of 100, but it is what it is. There's probably an element of randomness in addition to that percentage. But basically, the way it's set up now, she can't be hit by physical or magical because of the bug. So, other than putting her in the front row, we win. Whatever we need to do, we win now. We have the ultimate setup. What am I betting again? Oh yeah, Nutkin suits. I haven't even looked at what the enemy is. I'm gonna have to look that up on the fly. Because I am kind of stoked to get in here and try this. Oh yeah, the economizer, you can bet for a dragon horn if you want more of those, but I'm going to keep the economizer that I have, just as an option. I've already got 2 dragon horns anyway. Oh, okay, there we go, found them. The Nutkin suits become Genji armor. Genji armor is good. This guy was a pain in the ass before. He is no longer a pain in the ass, because that's instant death. Not anymore. Are you wasting your morph command, Terra? Really? In the Coliseum? Well, I guess you should probably use Celeste instead of Terra so she doesn't waste her commands. But yeah, she's basically immortal at this point. And she's casting Cure. Terra, are you dumb as the wall? Stop casting spells! Ooh. You... Well, that's a thing. Sadly, immortality doesn't matter when you're that dumb, so we'll just make Mog do it. You screwed up my whole plan of making it just look really, really cool that we're now basically immortal. Well, there's Genji armor. So yeah, we have some more Genji armors to hand out to some people. I got this Imp's armor as a rare drop from an enemy I fought on the Veldt as I was getting the new rage for Gaw there. The Nightshade one. I'll go over that in more detail later because we're actually going to use that, but I don't think I really need those right now, so I'll bet the rest of them off screen at some point. But yeah, we've made some progress there. Bet a couple of things. Got the ultimate sword in the game. Terra is now basically indestructible. Let's make sure she's still working on things. Gaw has it. Gaw does not need that. Anyway, I've got all my espers set up now, so let's move on and go somewhere new. Somewhere we haven't been yet. Let's keep going back and forth to places we've already been to before. Let's go somewhere new. This place here is the cave on the Veldt. However, it's a little different than it was last time we were here. Hmm? Oi, dog. Dogs are cool. Are you trying to tell me to follow you? You're coming with us. What a terrible translation, because that's obviously not what that means. Now, it's not like I blame the translators. From what I've read, a lot of the time when they're translating, they don't actually have access to a lot of the game footage in front of them or where it takes place. It's all like just a wall of text that they have to translate, and they have to infer or at least back when this game was translated, it would have been done something like that, trying to just translate from a massive text. So I understand why mistakes got made. I have no problem with that. It's just more about, like, that's just kind of ridiculous. Anyway, over here I believe leads to a dead end. It does, so let's not do that. Let's follow the doggy. Hey, treasure, I'll take that. Well, we're here. Toe cutters! I also decided to give Umaro some show, even though, well, it's not particularly important. Well, he's got a tackle. Terra does more damage. What's a good rage in this area? Toe cutters are, let's see, level 36. They are weak to fire and wind. They absorb ice, and they use a shrapnel attack that inflicts instant death. Pterodon, sure. Fireball. Fire 2 would have been better, but that's fine. And they fall down. Figured this was as good a place as any to show off what you could do with Umaro. He's not my favorite character by any stretch of the imagination, and beyond this, I don't think we're going to use him. But I figured I'd at least show it. A Rage Ring. Speaking of Umaro. Okay, we'll go to Relics instead. Equipped on a Sasquatch, and it gives him a little more vigor. And I have a map hiding my my stuff here, so let's see here. What does it do? Glove said to belong to a mighty Gigas. Boost the wearer's physical attack power. Okay. Well, we'll give it to him, see what that does. I guess you don't need that. We'll give you the sprint shoes for now. Whatever, doesn't matter. Alright, more repeat battles. After more repeat battles, let's talk to these guys. We three recently went hunting on the Veldt. Saw some weird kid out there all dressed in hides. So yeah, if you haven't gotten Gaw back, this is your indication of how to get him back. We always run across a boy dressed in hides. For some reason, he never came near when all four of us were together. There's your indication you need 3 party members to re-recruit him. In the forest north of the Veldt dwells a frightful dragon. Now, this is a funny mistranslation, and it just makes me kind of laugh. There are huge dinosaurs in the forest north of the Veldt. They're incredibly strong. The kanji that they were trying to translate here is a 2 kanji character, well, there's 2 kanji in this word. One means either frightful or frightening or terrifying. The other means dragon. If you remember back to your elementary school days, a dinosaur literally means terrifying lizard. Lizard, dragon. Yeah, he translated it bluntly as if they each were its own word instead of putting it together. Oh, it's dinosaur. It's just really funny to me because, like, it's something that even I learned, of course not in this context, but it's something I learned as a child. So it's really funny to me. Suppose no human could ever defeat it, but oh, how free we would be if we could. Well, it's giving me ideas for later. Reduce the number of people in your party if you want him to approach. Blunt force trauma much? Alright, see if we can find the one other new enemy in this area. Rios! Stop jumping around. Rios is an interesting one. He's not weak to anything. Let's show off Nightshade. That seems like an interesting thing to... Did you just throw Mog at him? Well, here's Charm. It actually missed? I guess it has a chance of hitting and a chance of not hitting. But, every enemy in the game is susceptible to it, at least. But yeah, Rios is level 36. It can use Flare Star, Surge. Flare Star is fire, Surge is ice, and Arrow, which is wind. So has lots of different elements. You do want to run into at least one of them while you're in here, though the Toe Cutter is much more common. Video game? Alright, monster! Sadly, it's not a very difficult monster. It casts Condemned as well as other things, and it's gone. Yeah. Also, the name? The name always got to me. All over. In Japanese, it was called Death Penalty. They censored it and pulled the 2 words apart. Not particularly interesting, but kind of stupid. But yeah, he falls down real fast. Due to a glitch, he doesn't actually appear on the Veldt like he's supposed to, so you only get the 1 set of Tiger Claws, and you never get... Well, you might find another one, but you can never get another one from him. Let's see here. All Over is level 19, weak to Fire and Pearl, absorbs poison, uses death on you, is also susceptible to instant dead, and he's undead. So Doom doesn't work. Also note that the Condemn timer is going down while we're standing here. But yeah, we got some more claws for Sabin when we put him back in the party. Alright. Where am I going here? I'm not paying attention to my map. Okay, I backed up too far. That's why I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, if you go down a little before, we can get into this door here, which allows us to proceed through the rest of this area. Now we're on the lower level. Alright. Now here we go through this doorway, hit this switch, removes that thing there. Going down here, I believe, leads to a whole lot of... Oh, no, never mind. It's treasure chest just down here. Hitting the Striker. Did we hear anything about a Striker earlier? Yeah, 90% of the enemies you're going to run into here are the toes, or the Toe Cutter. They use Doomsicle. It's a draining attack. Whatever, doesn't matter. Morrow does what a Morrow does. He either does a physical attack, a tackle attack, or a character throw right now. There's one more unique relic for him that we can get that will give him another attack. It's a Blizzard attack. And it's not like it's any more better than what he can already do. And he just can't do all that much. He's uncontrollable. there's very few situations where I want characters to be uncontrollable and not do something very specific. Hello? Well, Shadow is here. Looks like he's not in great shape. We should probably hit that save point. Alright, after that battle, I just popped up there and saved, making things a little safer for me now. And, yeah. One step away, video game. You just had to, didn't you? Alright, we'll fight one more. Sure, we'll go for Nightshade one more time, see if we can get anything out of it. Or not. Do note, every time you attack with Terra here, she definitely has uses MP with each of her attacks with the Illumina. So do note that her MP will suffer quite a bit from this. Come on, go Charm! And now the thing is here, Charm never goes away until the caster dies. It's the only thing that breaks Charm. So that guy is now confused for all intents and purposes until God dies, which will never happen because there's only one enemy and God will always make sure that he damages himself. So yeah, it's very, very broken. I also learned Quake because I figured I'd make him work on Torado. No one else is working on it right now. Okay. Shadow. Look at the wounds. Uh-oh. Anyway, that's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.